Hi, I'm Fred.
And I'm Sarah, aka the Paris Quiz Mistress.
We're two friends addicted to trivia, and we're
rewatching
Alias.
But this is not an Alias podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is episode number 2 of the bonus with the listener questions in it. I am Fred, as always, and it is my turn to quiz my wonderful co-host, Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hello. We are so hard at work in the podcast workshop, recording and writing and editing season 2 for you. But while you are waiting so patiently for that, you also gave us some trivia questions.
Exactly. Before everything, let's remind that if you want to support this little podcast of ours, you can always leave us your preferred amount of currency in a little tip jar, the link to which you can find in our episode description. As always, let's get down to business. Sarah, are you ready to be quizzed by our listeners themselves?
Wowza. I can hardly believe it. Yes.
Aren't we so lucky?
So lucky.
We have 2 questions by Tanya from Palermo.
Go for it.
Question: what has become the common feature between painters Edgar Degas, Rembrandt, Jan Vermeer, Edouard Manet, and Govert Flinck following an event that has occurred in 1990 in Boston?
Oh, 1990 in Boston. That must have been the Isabella Stewart Gardiner heist.
Indeed.
I guess all of these artists have a stolen, unaccounted for painting.
Exactly. In an unresolved heist in 1990, 12 paintings, if I remember well, and then 2 trinkets were stolen and have never been found.
Yep, and the empty frames still hang in the museum.
I saw a picture of the empty Rembrandt frame, and it's kind of cool, actually. Very well done. Next question from Tanya. Which movie scheduled for 2025 will be the live-action remake of the first ever full-length Disney animated feature?
So the first ever full-length Disney animated feature. I did not know that they were, I mean, obviously they're doing all of them in live action right now. It must be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yes, it is. It's probably only called Snow White, from what I remember. The remake, not the original.
Oh, okay.
No, the original is called that. And then, short, snappy, 2025 modern Snow White. So, 2025. If there's no strike or anything terrible like that happens. By terrible, I mean useful, obviously. Next question from Jeff from Maryland. Storylines set in and around the docks, in Baltimore's schools, and at a Baltimore City newspaper comprise 3 of the 5 seasons of what TV series, lauded since its 2008 end as one of the greatest of all time?
So this is a show that I have never watched. It's The Wire.
Yes, it is. I believe there's also a season with the police and another one with elections. I've heard you don't watch fiction.
Very little. If it's not Real Housewives, I'm not.
Only into real TV.
Yeah, only the realist.
Next question by Sarah from Raleigh. A different Sarah. The donut company Krispy Kreme is opening its first stores in Paris. The first store ever was opened in 1937 in which North Carolina city, whose 2-word name sounds like someone trying to indicate that a former UK Prime Minister might be a witch?
That's exciting that Krispy Kreme is coming to Paris.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. This is not a Krispy Kreme podcast.
Hungry. Is it? No, I was thinking Chapel Hill, but no. Is it a well-known town?
I do not know.
Or should I just say, like, Thatcher Sorcery, North Carolina? Like, I don't, like... No, so it's not Blair Witch.
So, the first word in the name is a first name, and the second word is a location.
I'm sorry, North Carolina listeners, but I think I'm going to have you give it to me.
The first one is maybe the most famous prime minister.
Oh, Winston-Salem.
Hey.
Jesus. Okay.
I just picture someone on their deathbed going, Winston-Salem. You're right. Krispy Kreme started in Winston-Salem. Next question by Mehdi from Algiers. Are you ready for this one? Because Mehdi did a thing. I said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop, and you don't stop the what European pop music group interpolated the song Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang for the hook of their 2002 one-hit wonder.
European pop music.
They use the melody, not the lyrics.
2002. It's ringing a bell somewhere like deep, deep, deep. Can I have a hint?
It's not an English language song.
Oh. Is that what they're doing? Wait, is it Lost Ketchup?
Yes, it is.
Acerje.
The ketchup song.
Yeah.
So I think it's sped up.
That's the reference.
Yeah. Ha, hey, and they get in the no. I said a hip. Huh? The hip it. Yeah.
A lot of hand jiving.
Yes, it's Last Ketchup, indeed. Very well, sir. It's a good question, right?
Yeah. Where are they from?
Spain.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just three Spanish sisters, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That song I love doing at a quiz night because it is the most laser focused litmus test of how old everyone in the room is. If anyone is like basically my age within 3 years, they'll start doing that hand jive thing.
Next question from Mehdi. Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 2, Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good, and a traditional Chinese song named Flowing Streams are some of the 27 pieces of music that were compiled in 1977 for which purpose?
Ooh. So can I have them again? Bach Concerto.
No. 2, Flowing Streams, and Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, 1977.
Was it like Hands Across America? No. As I said it. I mean, something to do with the UN?
With the world, yes.
With the world.
Not the UN. They were all put on a very special record for a very special audience.
Oh. All right. Were they beamed into space?
Yes, they were. They were all on the golden record that was sent with the Voyager probe in 1977 at the behest of Carl Sagan and many, many other people. Yes.
As a child, I was obsessed with Contact.
Ooh, the movie with Jodie Foster.
And Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, I haven't watched it. I heard it's good and weird.
Yeah, and I read the book, too, because I was that nerdy of a child.
Damn, you really are a trivia nerd. Love it.
You read a book? Loser.
Not loser. No, that was a compliment.
I know.
In my book, it's a compliment. Next question by Crimson from Paris. What outdated English expression most likely started as a mispronunciation of the French tout à l'heure, with which it shares a meaning?
Oh, I believe this. I think I've heard this before, and I think it's toodaloo.
Yes, indeed. Toodaloo. From toodaloo to tout à l'heure, toodaloo. It happened in front of your ears, people.
Lovely. Thank you, Crimson.
Next question by Sadra from Paris. Which fictional character who first appeared in a 1999 film that has spawned 3 sequels starts his adventure as a basic nerd named Thomas Anderson?
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
That would be The Matrix.
Yeah, and the character?
The character Neo.
Neo. Well done. Are you a Matrix fan?
I have seen the first one probably a handful of times, the second one once, and the third one never.
Ooh, you didn't miss anything. Moving on.
I would like to rewatch it now because it's now seen as a trans narrative.
Oh, yeah.
Which wasn't the lens which I watched it in when it came out. So.
Yeah, exactly. Considering the journey of the directors as well.
Could be an interesting rewatch with a today's lens.
And then our last question from Eric from Waterloo. Famously, Tom Marvel Riddle anagrams as I am Lord Voldemort in the English version of Harry Potter. What is Tom's rocking middle name in the French version of Harry Potter?
The first time I read this, I was like, really?
Well, translating is a really hard job sometimes.
Especially when they're throwing anagrams at you in the second book. What are we going to do now? I would love to know how this is solved in other languages, actually.
Let's do a whole podcast about that.
Yeah. So to anagram to Je suis Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
And with Tom's last name being Je de sors, that means his middle name has to be Elvis.
Tom Elvis Je de sors. Indeed. Very well done. I was wondering how far your Harry Potter knowledge goes, and it goes bilingual, at least. I will not probe more at the moment, but I'm sure you know more in more languages.
I have been reading Harry Potter in Spanish slowly, and the Spanish translator is not doing as much as the French one. Most of the names are the same.
Oh.
But then again, like, Yo soy Voldemort.
Okay.
I don't know how that's gonna. I'm only in book 1, so.
Oh, okay. You mean in book uno?
Uno.
I speak Spanish too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the end of the second listener question episode. I hope you enjoyed it, Sarah.
Yeah, that was very fun. Thank you, listeners. I feel so special.
Yeah, so many themes, so many questions, so many angles. It was delightful for me to ask them, so I can only imagine how it was for you.
Yeah, and we got the folks from far and wide. That's great.
Exactly. The people answered the call.
Yes.
So happy. We will be back soon with more Not an Alias podcast in your feed and all the things. In the meantime, we're saying toodaloo to you.
Toodaloo. Thanks for listening to Not an Alias Podcast, produced by Celia Brondeau with original music by Mad98.
If you love what we do, leave us a tip. The link to the tip jar is in the description.
And you can follow all things trivia at Paris Quiz Mistress.
And all things Fred at Fred Me Up.
Until next time.
Stay nerdy and keep quizzing.